Hi, I'm Chef Macy with ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, your destination for boozy eats, and today I'm going to combine two of my favorite things, which is whiskey and apple pie. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're a fan of two things, whiskey and apple pie. So today I'm going to show you how to make a Fireball Whiskey apple pie. Like any good beginnings, you always want to make sure you have all of your ingredients ahead of time. What you're going to need is Fireball Whiskey, 8 fresh apples of your choice. Today I'm going to be using Granny Smith apples, butter, granulated sugar, light brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, flour, and a refrigerated pie crust. So what we already started off with is the peeled and sliced apples that I did with a ceramic knife. So one of the advantages of peeling with a ceramic knife is because it doesn't turn brown. So next is the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and take my apples and completely submerge them with the Fireball Whiskey. I know some of you guys are probably wincing at home right now, but don't worry, we're going to strain it and save this later for some cocktails. And just a quick tip, if you want, because apples have a tendency to float, you can also put a paper towel and maybe a plate on there to weigh it down. Okay, so we're gonna let this sit for 4 hours. I wouldn't suggest holding it more than that, or else you might risk the chances of your apples kind of getting mushy and disintegrating altogether. So while our apples are soaking, we're gonna go ahead and work on our pie dough. For this particular recipe, we're gonna keep it simple. And I already have a pre-made pie dough. You always want to make sure you're working with cold dough, okay? So I just pulled this out of the refrigerator. And a quick tip on how to transport so you're not fumbling with your dough. Get that dowel, and you're just going to lightly roll it, make sure you don't press it, onto your dowel. And that way you can just kind of use it to roll on top of your pie pan. Now that I finished my pie dough, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the refrigerator, and we're going to work on our filling. So it's been 4 hours. I already preheated the oven to 350, and I'm gonna go ahead and strain this, and as a reminder, save that liquid. Okay, so now that I got my apples strained, we're gonna go ahead and work on our filling. So we're gonna cook on a medium-high setting. And first things first, I'm gonna add my butter, add 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of granulated sugar, followed by 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, followed by our 1/4 cup of flour. So I like to kind of get this a little mixed first before I add my apples, because that way it'll ensure that you don't get any weird lumps while you're cooking down those apples. So once I have that mixed up, we're gonna throw in our apples. Now this may look like a lot of apples, but don't worry, it's all gonna cook down and it's gonna fit in your nice little pie dish right there. So we're gonna let this cook down for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna come back to this. All right guys, so it's been 10 minutes and these apples are looking tasty. So we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients, which is the reserved liquid. See, I didn't lie to you. Between 1/2 cup to a cup, so just depending on where your liquid cooked down. My best gauge on the level of liquid to apple ratio is I pretty much want all of the apples to kind of just float in the liquid evenly. And the consistency of the liquid is kind of like a corn syrup consistency. And then once you reach that, you're pretty much good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this off and transfer this into our pie shell. But I kind of like to let it cool down just a little bit so it's not scalding hot when you add it to your chilled pie dough. So while this is chilling just a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and work on our topper. So for this pie, I'm just going to do an old-fashioned topping, which is just, you know, the basic other half of your pie dough, but I'm gonna roll it out just a little bit more so that I can ensure it covers over the whole dish. So now that I have it about the diameter to cover, I'm gonna roll it on here. So now we're just gonna fill the pie. And then we're just simply going to take our pie dough and lay it on top. And then because this is already fluted as far as the pie dough dish, we're just going to pat it down on top. And then you're just going to lightly pat down the rest of it to kind of meet that edge of the underneath pie dough. And then with that same awesome ceramic knife, I'm just going to cut a couple slits right in the center. And this is gonna help it breathe so that it doesn't blow out your pie dough. Another quick tip for you guys, you can just mix 1 egg to 1 tablespoon of liquid. In this case, I would definitely suggest using that Fireball reserved liquid. So it's as simple as just giving it a nice light brush of your egg wash, and this will make it nice and golden brown and delicious. And now the best part, time for baking. So I actually already have a pie in the oven, so we're gonna go ahead and look at that one. Okay, time to dig in. So I'm thinking definitely red hots, but also the tangy tartness of the apples and the sweetness of the cinnamon and sugar. I mean, what more could you ask for? Well, I hope this inspires you to get boozy in the kitchen, and if you like this recipe, pick up your Fireball at any ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, or you can go online to abcfws.com.